Welcome to the Ladies Lounge.
Welcome, everybody, to the show. We are your hostess with the mostest. I'm your homegirl, Carmen. My girl, Lena, on the other side.
Hey.
Hey, girl. Okay, so last couple of episodes have been a little bit on the emotional, I wouldn't say dark, but kind of, you know what I'm saying, side.
Right.
So we want to kind of keep it light this time around. Obviously, we've been talking about our feelings. We've been talking about emotions, everything that's been taking place around the world. But I think one thing that people have been not forgetting, but they have kind of put it on the back burner is coronavirus.
Girl.
You know what I'm saying? That's still a thing. And it's crazy because people forget, but I'll be honest with you, it was one of those things that I was fucking stressing and sweating and anxiety through the roof over. And then when we start, having these political changes that we want to be made, it's like we completely forgot about coronavirus. So with that being said, obviously us being let out the house and not being able to go outside, quarantine kind of is over. Can we officially say it's over? Yeah, right?
Well, I would say the quarantine part of it kind of is, but I mean, I'm still caught. Like, I just got back from LA, and I'm going to be going up to the Bay later on this week. So I'm still cautious, but I'm still doing my thing. Like, I'm still living life,
We're still doing, you're living life with a mask. So,
exactly.
But no, yeah. So I think as we move forward, I think with the new changes, obviously we still can't do the same things that we used to, whether it's going to the bars, even going to the movies. The movies just opened up, I want to say last week or this past Friday.
This past week, yeah.
But some, yeah. So
right.
Like here in Fresno, they didn't open up because they just weren't ready. So I don't know.
Right.
Like I want to see if people actually went out wherever it was open just to see how that was, because I'm sure that was a different experience. I know some of the regulations are like, obviously you have to be apart, you have to wear a face mask. So like that new norm is also weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But with people being quarantined, there was a lot of tension that was built up, obviously, if you're in a relationship or if you're not. Wait, is it safe to say you went into quarantine in a relationship?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so
then
so you got to experience the tension that can build up while being in a relationship. Yeah.
Yes. Being around somebody that long, it's just, you know what I came to realize? I have relationship anxiety. Like, it's really hard for me to be around somebody all day, every day. Yeah.
Now that's the thing. I feel like with people doing their everyday thing, like going to work, going to the gym, having hobbies, hanging out with friends, those are moments that we're spending outside of being with our partners. So by the time it's time to cuddle up or, to see your partner, it's been a minute, or you have time to miss each other, right?
Right.
During quarantine, you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit
that up in each other's face
all of that
time.
All of that. And so we understand tensions can definitely build up. There was definitely a lot of people that were fucking, that's for sure. That was that was happening. But then there was also, I don't know, I wouldn't say getting to know each other, because I've been in my relationship for 8 years, so it's not like we're getting to know each other, but it's like it was too much, right?
Like, you see a different side to them.
Right. Because now it's like they don't have their breaks, right? Of like going to work or whatever. Luckily for me, we still did. Like, he was still going to work and I was still going to work, but we were like days off. He couldn't do the extracurricular activities like going to to go golfing or going somewhere. I couldn't do that, so we were stuck with each other like all the time. And I know it's a beautiful thing, but everybody knows it's not the reality, right? So with that being said, I feel like there's a lot of tension that was built up, and I know I saw it a lot on social media. Let's just start off by saying Angie got this crazy DM that made me really think that this is a reason why we need to talk about it, because I feel like relationships were definitely tied up in, I don't know, in a different space where it has people worried or concerned about their partners. There was a lot, and I think I saw this study at some point. I reported it during our morning show that there was a lot more social media cheating, meaning obviously that's what people were doing, were sliding in people's DMs, or they were watching porn more or stuff like that, because they were with just too much with their partner, and to free themselves or to be out there, there's no other way but to do it socially. So people were doing that a lot, and it's safe to say that it's proof, because Angie got first-hand proof when she got this DM from, let's just not say her name, but she got a DM while Angie was out and about having a good time, and she got hit with the woman to woman. If you
she came at me like a woman.
Yeah, she did.
She came at me, she picked up the phone. She said, "Hey, Barbara." She put it in her phone. She said, "Hey, Barbara.
The boy is mine." No.
And I was like, "Who's your man?"
Yeah. So this is the funny part. The funny part about this is Angie had no fucking idea who this person was. And I think it's important for us to bring it up, because as women in entertainment, it's something that's very common. So I want you to read do you have it with you? The DM?
Yep.
Okay,
I have it right here.
This is a DM from someone. We're going to just keep it anonymous. Go ahead.
All right. So she says, "Hey there. So I know it's random, nothing on you, but I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it." She adds her boyfriend. So she gives me his name, and she's like, "Is my boyfriend, and your name popped up from IG saying you liked his reaction. When I asked to see his messages, he deleted it. We've had issues in the past, and I just want to know if it was anything flirty. He deleted, so it just looks guilty. And I guess the only way I'll know is to ask you, I guess." So, yeah.
Okay. Obviously, you don't trust your man.
Right.
The funny thing about this is that I'm all fucking inserting myself in your situation. We don't know. Angie don't know who this person is. That's what made it funny to me, because I have been there, before, where I'm like, wait, who? But we kind of had different perspectives. So Angie hit her up because she, she's trying to have a good time with her friends. She's out and about. And so in her mind, she's like, first of all, girl, I don't even know who your man is. But honestly, I didn't think that she was trying to attack you. I just thought that she was trying to get to the bottom of it. But you had a really good way of breaking it down, because you've been there, done that. So what did you reply to her? You said,
all right. So basically, when I responded to her, one, yes, I was irritated, because I'm like, girl, why are you hitting me up? Like, I don't even know this dude like that. And then secondly, I was having a good time. So I feel like she kind of, fucked up my high, and I was irritated. So anyways, but I also wanted her to learn her lesson. So I said, "Hi. I don't know him personally. He just liked my post of the water." It was literally a post of me on the lake, because I was on a boat that day. I said, "While I normally wouldn't respond, I'm only doing this because as a woman, I understand your concern. However, I wouldn't ever message another woman if I were you. Any issues you have with a man need to be dealt with between you two. I am a media personality, so people follow me, and if they support me, then I follow back. We never had a conversation outside of anything friendly. So again, I get it, but don't message another woman because of your own insecurities."
Which I thought, honestly, Andrew went a little hard on her, just because I get why she did it though. Andrew was in the fucking over here on a boat and shit, trying to live her yacht life.
Girl, yes.
But at the same time, I thought that it was a little insensitive on the fact that poor girl was probably like stressed the fuck out. Her man lied to her. And the only reason why I could relate to it is because men are stupid like this, right? They hide things and they say, "I only did it because I didn't want to hurt your feelings," right? This is why I'm sure, because it really was. Angie really was just in the water, and it was literally water. What I told Angie is, I was like, "Don't lie, bitch. It was your nalgas that he liked." But it wasn't. It wasn't that. So
I was like, girl, come on now. I'm not going to lie to another woman. Like,
it was definitely water, and the guy erased it. But this is where I feel like we got to dig deep, because he fucked up on deleting it, because that would have been his perfect proof that it was nothing and that he was actually being loyal. So obviously this girl is hitting Angie up because she's thinking he's doing it again. He's fucking DMing these girls or reacting or trying to get a reaction from these females. So she was upset. That was her first reaction. And let's be honest, women, we've been there when our men has lied to us before, or our men has had tendencies of like lying to us in the past and doing things like DMing females. It can be a trigger for us, right? But this dude is an idiot. He could have easily avoided all this conflict. This girl probably would have never hit up Angie and would be out here, looking silly if he would have just fucking told her, look, I promise you it's nothing, right? But here's what I want to dig deep, all right? This is a man who's in a relationship. He doesn't know Angie. This dude doesn't know you, right? You don't know him. No. You guys just mutually kind of, he supports you.
We just followed each other.
Yeah. So you show your appreciation. Yeah. You've never had no conversations with him. So here's where I want to dig deep. Okay. As men, if you're listening right now, because I know that my man has done this. I'm going to throw him under the bus because he's done this before in the past, where he would do things like erase things or forget to tell me certain things or leave certain parts of the story out. And it was to quote unquote protect you. I didn't want you to think something, or I didn't want to start an argument for no reason. Well, guess what, idiots? Now you made this argument a bigger fucking issue because it would have just been solved had you not given that little white lie. So if this man would have just kept that up, she would have been like, okay, I feel stupid. I'm my bad. Like I should trust you now because you are telling me the truth. But at the same time, right? Put yourself in his shoes. What if he left it up, but then she's thinking, so you don't know this girl and you're reacting to her water because you want her to react back. You can acknowledge the water is beautiful without saying it to her if you don't know her, right? Like if this is your man, don't you think that at some point you're thinking that too? Like, why are you reacting to even honestly, water?
Now, like, because I've done a lot of like digging for myself. That is insecure. Like that's you being insecure as well. Like it shouldn't be an issue if your man wants to like some, if he's liking a girl shaking her ass or showing her titty, like, yeah, I'm going to get mad at that. But if he's literally just, I wouldn't have, honestly, that's why I went in on her the way I did. And I honestly thought I was still being nice. I was just, like I said, I was irritated because I was having a good time and she hit me up with some bullshit. I'm just in a space right now where I don't want to be dealing with nobody's bullshit. So she just caught me in, at the wrong time. But overall, because I've been there before, because I know how stupid I looked for messaging another woman, and it was probably literally nothing.
Yeah.
I wanted a homegirl to know, like, girl, like, if you're feeling insecure, don't go and, like, bring another person into the situation. And if it's just me, and if it's me and my man, like, going back to some of the dumb shit I've done, I look back and I'm like, whew, I just wish I would have never done stuff like that. Because what if your man is, like, just doing something innocent? Literally and now... Sending. Yeah, and now you're making yourself look crazy because you're, digging for stuff or you're, and I get it. Like you said, all he had to do was show her exactly what, but she probably has tripped in the past over nothing. So that's probably why he deleted it too.
Well, that's the thing. That's where it gets tricky because what a man thinks is nothing is a lot for a woman. And I know this because I know you've had situations like this before. This is why I said that you could have been a little bit insensitive because there are situations that you've done that I've watched you do. I've done this shit myself too. So I'm not.
That's why I told her, don't hit up another woman. Because, I wasn't going to explain myself to her and tell her, girl, I've done it.
Here's what I've done this.
Point, she's not my friend. I don't know her either. So I'm not going to be sitting here telling her, girl, so this is my advice. No, this is me being like, girl, don't hit up another woman. Well, just to add to this, he ended up unfollowing me the next day. So I already know they
had a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Here's
what I think with that, with that, obviously, like she probably believed you, right? Because you answered her back. Did she reply to you? She didn't reply to you?
No, she just, like you said, she probably felt stupid coming at me because I'm girl, get out of here. Leave me alone. Yeah. So obviously one of those girl bye.
Yeah. And then here's the thing about here's the thing about women in media. This is a situation that happens all the time. I can't tell you because I lost count how many times I've had women come in. You know what's sad? I've mentioned this in like, I think you remember. I remember telling you about this because I talked about it on social media. Where I hate when men hit me up on like some fuck shit, like whether it's commenting on my fucking pictures or how hot I look. Not you look, but even that is fucked up if you have a relationship. But these men are fucking doing it with their women on their icon. And that's where my issue lies with that, because I'm just like, so I said, I made a comment like that or whatever. I had a whole IG post about how men got to stop making their women out here look stupid when you're over here fucking in DM.
Oh yeah, I remember
talking about
that.
You remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then I had a woman hit me up, and this is where I felt like shit, right? She said, I'm so sorry. You don't know me. Something along the lines of this is about a year ago or two. I'm so sorry. I don't know if you don't know me. I don't know you, but it's sad that I have to even say this. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. She said, but I think the person you were referring to must have been my husband. My husband, she said, because she's like, I don't know what the messages were between you and him, but I did see that he had messaged you and it was deleted. So I don't know what was said, she said. And mind you, I didn't respond to them. It was like an unread message, but he was sending me, I guess, still sending me messages. And then she got it, but by the time she saw it, it was just an empty box. So she don't know.
I see.
She don't know what the conversation was, and she's thinking she's like, it's a shame that I even have to say this, but I know you're probably talking about my man, and I'm embarrassed. And in fact, when she wrote me, the icon was like empty, so you couldn't see. So I'm assuming she took her husband off that photo. But it's fucked up, right? That we get put, but as women, we get put in these positions where we out here looking stupid because you have me flaunting me on your page, and you're fucking DMing other people, right? Whether I'm on the icon or just on your page. So she's to be like, it was probably my husband. Can you imagine how embarrassing that is? That she has to even acknowledge that. So, and men do this a lot in media. So when she came up to you, I was like, listen, this happens a lot with us in the media world. So y'all need to know, like, there's things that we will post. It's not to trigger a man, especially not one in a relationship or a marriage. That will post, or even if we're being nice to someone, literally I can say, oh, that support means so much to me. Thank you so much on a DM. And then he'll come back with, oh, no problem, shorty. You're so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. Then you're like, what the fuck? Motherfucker, I'm trying to say thank you. Like,
check this out, girl. This is so funny because, we were both posting about, everything that was going on. And so I've had, some dudes be like, oh, I see you, speaking out for us, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
He did not say you out here riding for us.
It's like, first of all, I don't even know you. Second of all, like, I'm writing for my daughter, if anything. Like, get out of here with that. Like, it's just funny to me that they really find, as of lately, I've noticed, oh, I love your podcast, which is so amazing to us because we've got a lot more male guys listening to the podcast. That I feel like they reach out to us more and they're like, yo, I really appreciate that. All right, thank you. Like, the support is amazing. But I don't like groupies. There's a difference, okay? Yeah. There's a difference between a guy or someone, period, who's a fan of yours or who's a listener, and we love you guys. But the groupies, please don't, so I was thinking, like, I know I heard you're single now, so, boy.
There is men like that. And honestly, in my opinion, I welcome them all. I will say, just don't be that motherfucker, which I've had these people do this, where they're like, I see DMs, right? And sometimes I hadn't opened them or whatever.
Right.
For whatever reason, I'm just now seeing it. So for instance, this has happened a few times, but I just read a recent one. It was a guy that was like talking to me in Spanish. It was like, you're so beautiful. I think I told you about this one because I was like, this motherfucker. He's like, you're so beautiful. What do you say? ¿Qué linda estás? Another message was like, ay chula, ¿cuándo te puedo, cuándo vamos a comer? Or something like that. And then another one was like, mándame tu número, right? He's talking to me in English and Spanish, but mostly in Spanish. And then the one I opened, the one that actually caught my attention for whatever reason, I opened it. The very last message was, fuck you, you stuck up bitch. Get the fuck out of here then. Yeah. And so then that's the first one I'm reading, right? So I'm like, bitch, he said, what did I do? So I look back and he was mad because I didn't open all his fucking messages. So those groupies, fuck you. But if you are one who, listen, I will never be against men, because how many crushes have we had that are celebrities, right? That we fucking love, would support them for whatever, OBJ. Yeah,
that's a fan.
Right. No,
fan. You know what I'm saying?
No, bitch, I've had dreams of him. That's not just a fan. I've had dreams, okay? So anyway, so I'm saying, like, I am open to, if you love what I do, if you think I'm beautiful, cool, thank you. If you love listening to me, knowing that I got a man, but you still love me, like, men can't shut that off, that they don't find us attractive just because we have
right.
A man, right?
No,
I'm open to that. It's the
weirdos are great. Yeah,
that get upset. Yeah, or feel entitled, right, about a certain thing.
Yeah. That's so weird to me. The ones that keep messaging you until you respond, and then they get mad because you don't respond. Like, and like I said, the listeners are great. The supporters are great. There's definitely like, there's real love. You know what I love is that me and you, we don't have to be extra. We don't have to do all this extra shit to get genuine love from people. Right. And that's what I appreciate about, both of our fan bases, or whatever you want to call it. Like, people really respect us, but it's those weird ones that be like, can I lick some peanut butter off your toes type of, there's just some weird people out there for sure.
Just somebody hit me downloads, up. Give me the listens, please. That's it. Bye. Yeah, no, there's a lot of those folks, but going back to the message, like, that's something we receive a lot. And I think this is why we always say being a woman in this industry is tough, because a genuine need or response or reaction to be a friend can come off as something else, simply because you think I'm cute, or you think that I'm attractive, or you think I'm sexy. So if I respond, even a simple like can be misconstrued for, she gotta be fucking with me because she sent me that heart. No, motherfucker, there's no like on Instagram. Otherwise, I would just send you a like, not a heart. You know what I'm saying?
Put a little smiley face.
Put a little smiley
face. That's it.
Yeah. But even that could be, misconstrued for something else. So this is why I say, like women in industry, we it's just tough. No matter what way we respond. I've had women come up to me and tell me that they don't fuck with me, that just don't like me because their man loves me. And then I've had women who are hella dope will come up to me and be like, I need to take a picture with you because my man loves you. Aww. I love that shit, because I'm like, girl, thank you. You get it. Right. Like, I don't want your man, and you appreciate that he's a fan of mine. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with those women. Like, I've had a lot of those. I've had very few, but it happens with these women that really think that we have something to do with the way that your man is a fuckboy, So I think we want to clear the waters real quick with that girl that hit you up. That's not going to be the first or the last, but it is important for women to recognize our insecurities. And listen, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, we are going to be put in in a situation where we, you have those doubts, and like, I'm sure she knew when she was doing it, she was kind of embarrassed, but was like, fuck it, I just need answers. You know what I'm saying? So we know those situations are going to happen, but let's just look at the bigger picture. Your man is really the issue here, and you got to really dig deep into what he's doing and really have this long conversation of where you're at, because if he's still deleting shit, even if it was a simple reaction to your water, that's a problem, because he's still got issues there. There's still toxic traits there that don't need to be happening if you want to move forward into this healthy relationship. So that relationship is deeper, but we are going to be getting messages like that. And I just want women to know, like, and a lot of the times, well, shit, because I'm in a relationship with Angie, it may be different, because there might be a man who she does find attractive and is going to respond to him. Don't check Angie, check your man if that's your man. If he's coming to her that she's single, that he's acting single, you're not gonna be over here like he gotta be married. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know these things. So there are gonna be those situations, and I just feel like with women, just really pay attention to your relationship and where you at, and just know that the issue ain't always gonna be the other people. It's your partner and how they react to it.
Exactly. Fellas, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you have a wife, a baby mama, a girlfriend, a girl that thinks she's your girl, okay? Somebody you're talking to, somebody that you like, somebody that you like all their pictures, any of the above, don't hit me up. Please, I don't want none of that. Like when I tell you, I don't want to deal with, if you're still like dealing with your ex in any kind of way, if you even still think about your ex, do not hit me up, because then we're going to have somebody coming to me like a woman again and I'm going to have to check her too. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I will say this. I wouldn't say I was insensitive to her, because I was like, I said it a few times. I get it, girl. I get it.
Of your own insecurities.
I had to throw that in there. But this is why, though, because I've been insecure and I did dumb shit like that. So that's why I wanted her to know, like, girl, these are your insecurities. And this is me telling her straight up.
Well,
I've been there, done that.
You were right, though. It turned out that you were right, you know, at that point.
That's exactly what it was, because you know how I know that? Because that's been me. That's been me being insecure. That's been me being stupid and hitting up another woman. Like, it's so unnecessary. And like I said, looking back now, I should have never done it. But now that, now that you're warning me, like, this shit's going to happen, I'm like, ladies, come on. Like, please don't ever feel the need to hit up another woman because of some shit your man's doing. If it's some shit your man's doing, now if she's the one hitting up your man and you happen to see the message or whatever, then for sure check that bitch, you know? But if it comes to, it's your man who's like messaging this guy, I mean,
have that conversation with your man. And I'm sure she did, like you said, but she probably deleted it or he deleted it. And so she didn't know. And she's just like, oh, God, I'm curious as a motherfucker. I'm like, to go as far as reaching out to someone, it is embarrassing. It's fucking humiliating for us. But like, that's a bigger issue. Like now what's happening is you're enabling these toxic traits that he's got, because you're like, let me see if she's why, you know, that that he's the one that reached out to, because Angie didn't go and DM him. You're reacting to something that he did, which was honestly, I want people, let me clarify this while I'm at this topic. Angie liking that comment wasn't her trying to talk to him. It wasn't her giving him a hint that I'm paying attention to you. It was a simple acknowledgement of, thank you for reacting to my story. That's it. And I need that to be clear for men and women that need to know that. Because you know what's fucked up? That on Instagram, you can't like some shit. So you can't give someone a thumbs up. You got to fucking send the heart. And that can be so like confusing to people. And I hear that men think that that's like, I've had this conversation with multiple men, and multiple men have told me that they assume that when you double tap one of the reactions or you double tap a comment, that they are taking it as like that we want something back. Right. Wait, what? So I was like, no, that's not true. Let me go talk to this other man and see if it's true. Hey, homie, is it true that this is happening? Dude, when I got three men, different fucking life, one married, one single, and one in a relationship, tell me the same thing, I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, we need to have these conversations with men, because fellas, y'all getting it wrong. That's not what that means. Sometimes maybe it does for women out there, but you really got to acknowledge who you're talking to and the type of relationship you have with them, because sometimes it's just, I'm acknowledging that you commented on my shit. That's it.
Yep.
Nothing more,
like I saw
nothing
it.
Less.
Thank you. It's literally like oh, thank you. You know, I appreciate the comment, or hey, I appreciate, because I will say, like, I really appreciate the people who show genuine love. It's all, for me, it's like, oh man, I'm glad that I don't have to be extra out here. I don't have to be showing my ass to be getting any likes or any comments. So I appreciate it. However, I'm not out here looking. Let me tell you, if a guy approached me, I don't care how fine he is, I'm like, bro, I'm good right now. I'll take your number. I might hit you up later. But right now, let me just live my life and have fun. So, these fellas really need to learn, like, just because we double tap something, just because we acknowledge your existence, doesn't mean we want you.
Yeah. So let's just get that out the way, man, because that happens a lot, and it sucks, because sometimes genuinely, like, there'll be other people in the industry who are reaching out to you and who are reacting and liking your shit, and you just want to have a conversation. And I want to bring this up because this takes me into the conversation that I had with my boyfriend one time, right? So I forget what reporter it was, and I told you about this. He was showing me this girl, right? It was a reporter, a sports reporter, a sports anchor, and it was a football coach or something like that. I don't know who it was, but it was something. Obviously, she was in entertainment. She was a reporter, so she's having this conversation. It was an IG conversation, and he said, yeah, you know, it's crazy because LeBron James, and I'm just like, I'm wordplaying here because I don't know exactly what he said, but he said something like, yeah, you know, LeBron James has sent me some of his shoes because, or Kobe, was it Kobe or LeBron? One of them. He's like, send me some of his shoes because I'm his shoe size, so it's easy for him to send me his shoes. This is an older white man who is a coach, right? And this is a younger white female who's a reporter. So she goes, this was her reaction. That's it. That was just like acknowledging what he said and moving on. My man said, what do you think she means by that? I was like, the fact that you're asking me, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Like this is a conversation I have over and over again with you about how women can't say shit and without seeming flirty or seeming like you want something more. Bruh, I'm breathing.
My eyes and they're like, oh.
Yeah, I wish y'all can see me. If you're listening to this podcast on Apple or you're listening to it, go watch the YouTube so you can see my face. This is all she reacted to. She said, literally, that's it. There was nothing more, nothing less. She didn't say, is that really why he's saying you something? No, it was nothing.
She didn't do that.
What, I bet so. What size shoe is that? No, it was nothing. And so to me, I was like, wait. Babe, you're fucking, this is a conversation that pisses me off because like, she's like, wait, why is it pissing you off? Like, I'm just having this normal conversation. I was like, it just irritates me that you, and I'm your girl in entertainment, that you don't see that that's a problem. This is an issue, it's an ongoing issue with women in this industry, that no matter what we do can come off as we're hoes or we fucking them or we want something more. This girl is literally doing her job. She's acknowledging what he said and was like, moving on, nothing less, nothing more. And you're asking me because you think that maybe there was a flirtatious conversation there. I guess him and his boys were having that conversation and they caught that glimpse of what she said and thought that was a flirty, way of addressing it. And I was just like, no, man, like it had nothing to do. Like she was literally acknowledging it. And that's where shit like this happens to us all the time. We could be interviewing a rapper. We could be interviewing an athlete. We could be interviewing fucking football coach in the Valley or whatever. And still, no matter how you react, it can come off as flirty because it's just a female and a male. And that is apparently what causes that.
Right. But how about this? Even if so, let's just say I'm single, right? So if I'm doing an interview and whoever wants to flirt with me and I want to flirt back, what's wrong with that too? Like,
no, yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong.
Like, why can't I do that? Does that mean I'm going to go and fuck him afterwards? Does that mean I'm a hoe? Does that mean, like, why is it? Because as a woman, because me and you can both attest to this, we've had plenty of artists and athletes holler at us, right? As the interview's going and totally flirt with us. And we have to be like, so anyway, we have to like keep the interview going and try to like not flirt back, because then even if we do, whether we do or we don't, we still come off like, well, what were you wearing? Why was he trying to flirt with you?
Yep.
Well,
there's a lot of insecure men too that feel that way. Thankfully, though, I don't have to deal with that with my man, but I had in the past, the men that I dated, it was always a hard thing to deal with because they couldn't get over that phase. Like you said, sometimes they'll make comments, and even though you're fucking deflecting those comments or you're changing the subject, it's still, you get home and you gotta worry about your man's talking to you about like, why did he say this? Why? I can't control what the motherfucker asked me. You know what I'm saying? I can only control how I react to it. And so I'll put it this way. I never released the Kendrick Lamar interview that I did with him when he came to Fresno because of that. So there was a conversation, right? This is in the beginning of my career. And I remember they were like, okay, you're going to interview Kendrick Lamar. This is when he was known as K-Dot more. And people just knew, people that knew him then knew he was like the up and coming artist. He was he was going to be performing at the fair. And I remember specifically my boss telling me, make sure you ask if he has a girl, because women want to know that. And I was like, and that's by the way, that's in the industry, like they expect us women to ask that question. That's, if you know anything about this industry, you know that they always want us to ask the question. They want it to come from the female because they want to say, well, you know, females want to know, I hear, are you single or not? And sometimes shit, I'll ask the question because I really like, there really is women that care. But at this point with Kata, I was like, man, that's not my concern. But you know what? I'm going to ask it because it's one of my first interviews and my boss is asking me to say this. So I did. And what I said was, you know, so you're about to drop this album. It was with Section 8 came out. And I was like, you know, you're about to drop this album. And the women out here are really starting to get to know you, who K-Dot really is. Do you have a girlfriend? And then you know what he said? He said, what? I said, do you have a girlfriend? And he goes, you're my girlfriend. And so I was like, oh, okay. Y'all heard it here first. I was technically at that point, I was still like, you know, I was dating and stuff. I was actually dating my man at the time, but we weren't like we are now. So I was oh, I got stuck because I was like, oh shit, you know? And I got by the way, my man was behind the cameraman that was holding up it was a camera girl. My girl was, one of our interns was holding the camera. And he was like, do you have a man? And if you watch the interview, I was just like, okay. So anyway, go kill it out there, blah, blah, blah. Like, I had to find a way to switch that. You know what I'm saying? But I think Kendrick is so strategic, like as most people know him now. At that time, you probably would have been like, he's probably trying to holler at me. But if you look at who he is now as a person, like, and you get to know his lyrics behind the way he thinks, you know that he was saying that to deflect my question. It wasn't.
Well, I don't know, girl, because remember when we went to his show? It was. Remember when we were? He did look our way a few times.
But I think it was because he was like, is that the girl that I asked to be my girl? I'm just kidding. No, it was weird. I was like, why do you keep looking over here? But I think it was because either he recognized me, or he felt like he knew me, or I don't know, maybe he didn't know. I'm saying,
I mean, we was looking kind of cute that night. So.
We was looking kind of cute that night. No, but in all seriousness, like, love Kendrick Lamar just as much as I love people. Like, I love.
That's how I met my ex.
That's what? Oh yeah.
We were in the crowd watching Kendrick, and then that's how I met him because he was standing behind me. So yeah, I'm definitely a Kendrick fan.
so it's just crazy because shit, I don't even know where we were going with this, but technically, like, that's part of the job, right? Where people assume that even when we say where we don't want to be flirtatious, it's just going to come off that way because I'm just being friendly, right? And now that's a conversation that you got to have with your man. If you don't want your man being that comfortable with someone, just because they'll give you this excuse, they'll say, well, she's a celebrity. Like, I'm not even fucking with her like that. Then why are you in her DMs? You're doing it because you're hoping for a reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Ladies, if your man is telling you, you know, what, Eva Longoria, I just slid in the DMs because she's not going to fucking know the messages. No, fellas, you slid in that DM because you have hope that you at some point maybe just get a reaction from her. Right? Why else are you doing it? You're not leaving it there for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're leaving it there because you're waiting to see if they fall for the bait. That's the problem. Right. So those are bad. Those are toxic traits. So ladies, if your man is doing shit like that, y'all need to have a deeper conversation because it's definitely like, it's just not a good look. It's bad. We see it a lot. It's so fucked up. We see it a lot. That was just one example that Angie had with the girl that hit her up, but we see it a lot and it's really pretty fucked up. So we say all this to say that when you have a issue with in your relationship and you have problems, this is just my advice. If you have to question what his motive was or what his actions were really for because he erased it and now you didn't see what it really was, you have a deeper issue that you got to solve. And that's not regarding another female. That's regarding your man that's in front of you that you're dealing with. If you can't trust him, now y'all got to have this conversation about communication, about, you know, infidelity, about, you know, being true to each other. And so to me, it's like you said, yes, she was being insecure, but I just felt like obviously someone can take those words and think like, bitch, I'm just asking you a question. But it's true. It ultimately ends up being our own insecurities. And because we've been there, done that, you don't want to be out here looking silly. You know what I'm saying? And I can say this. I've made many mistakes in my life. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to continue to make them. If I can say one thing is, it's better to handle things with your man. And this is going for as far as even talking to your homegirls about what your man is doing. You know, sometimes it's toxic. Handle that shit with you too, because it's just important for you to be able to move forward. Otherwise, guess what's happening? You're building all these like negative you're building all these negative traits without even realizing it. And now your man is doing things because he wants to avoid from fighting. Just don't fucking do anything and you won't have a fucking fight. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, fellas, get your shit. And by the way, I really hope that men are taking notes in this, because this is a serious issue when it comes to men thinking that it's okay to react to somebody. Like I said, even if you're reacting, if you know your girl don't like it and you're going to delete it, don't fucking do it. And if you don't, if you're doing it, then maybe you should question if your girl is really who you want, or you're just wasting her fucking time. You know what I'm saying?
That part. Yeah. I mean, this is part of the reason why I'm single too, is because I'm like, I want to make sure that when I am in a relationship that I can fully trust my partner. He can trust me. There ain't no issues like I'm mad at him because he's liking something, or he's mad at me because I reacted to something. You know, it's going to take a really secure man to be with me anyways. Like, that's why I handed to your man, because I feel like he's always done a good job of handling, you know, being your partner.
No,
so
he's done a good job. I've done a good job at showing you guys that he's done a good job, because I'll tell you right now, it wasn't easy. And that's okay. And I could say that because I'm not him, only because I think it's expected. And anyone in the industry, like, you know, this shit is not easy to date somebody in the industry.
Girl.
And you know what? I've told my man over and over again, I think that's maybe why we've been able to see where we're at or go on this long, because I told him I could not date someone in the industry, and I just couldn't. You know why? Because I probably wouldn't be able to handle the insecurities, and that's because I know myself. So why am I going to put myself in that situation? So I would always tell my man this. I'm like, listen, if you want to end this, I totally get it, because you know, there had been tough times in the beginning of our relationship where there's certain things I had to do, and he found it disrespectful, or he found it that it was more his own insecurities, obviously.
Right.
You know, like you said, the fact that you acknowledge that you think he's done a good job at holding it together, I think shows you how much I protect my relationship, because
boom,
you know what I'm saying? You don't need to. Not all my girls don't need to know every part of my relationship. You need to know that there was a journey there. Yes. And that's only because I want to help you as my friend. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Going into relationships and doing, you know, dealing with situations. So yes, although my man has been holding me down, it took a lot to get these 8 years in. And I will say there was a lot of conversation, communication. He sucks at communication. He sucked. He's getting better, but he sucked at communicating. So it was a work in progress, girl. But love was ultimately what allowed us to continue, right? Because there was a lot of things that he was doing that was toxic, and there was a lot of things that I was doing that was toxic. But you know what it was? That we didn't understand each other's lifestyles. That's what was the issue. And I think
the toxic sex was good too. That's what it was.
That shit. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I felt like I was getting hood dick, and he wasn't even from the hood. I'm just kidding. Like, it would get to that point where you're right. You have like these fights and makeup sex that were so good. And it was probably, it's all part of the beautiful journey, right? Of being in a relationship. Right. But you're right. I just feel like people in this industry, like they got it. It's hard. It's hard to be in a relationship, and marriage specifically too. Like, there's so many boundaries that have to be explained between the two. And you have to know that, yes, although we have an understanding, fucking Tito over here from Lakewood sending me DMs has nothing to do with how I feel and how I respect our relationship, you know? And once you get to that understanding in the relationship where you both acknowledge this isn't me, it's the other person, then you can build together. Like, for instance, if a homegirl who DM'd you had that conversation, she would have never hit you up, but she hasn't, which means they got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a, man, being in this industry is a beautiful thing, but if you can't find someone who understands where you're coming from, but I feel like I also made it easy what making him see or know that he ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To be honest, women in this industry, there are some women in this industry who just don't give a fuck about respecting their relationship. And maybe
they're groupies
why,
in the industry, you know, they're basically just in the industry. And we've seen a lot of them come up because of that. So.
Yep. Sadly. So that's why I think all I'm saying is just like we don't say all cops are bad, don't fucking say every woman in the industry is bad. Just like we don't say all black men are bad. Don't fucking say, you know what I'm saying? This is all the same thing. Like, don't, just like there's some crazy, I will say there's some crazy machismo men out there. I don't believe that there's a lot of men. I don't believe that they're all like that. You know, there's a lot of great Latino men out there who are confident and are loud.
I don't know, girl. I don't know.
Some can be crazy. No, that's true. No, I know.
Some Hispanic men that have been like, what? Why are you blinking like that? Why you breathe? Oh, you're going to breathe and you're going to blink at the same time? Like, girl, I've had some possessive ones where I was like,
but there are some good ones out there. You just haven't came across one yet. Maybe see if I got a cousin or something out there. I think I got because I'm legit. Like, I have a lot of primos that are machistas. Like, I have a lot of tios that are machistas. Mm-hmm. So like, it sucks because that machismo does live a lot in the Latin community. However, there is the same type of men for everything. There's white men who are machismo that just don't call it that. They just call it crazy. I'm just kidding. You know, there's something for everything. Yeah, exactly. So all I'm saying is, don't think for a second that every woman is out. Like, if your man likes and appreciates our show, sometimes it's just that, ladies. That's it. They just like.
And y'all just listen to it together. Y'all might learn something together. You know
and what I'm saying? Is Angie. When we first started this podcast, that was our goal. What did we say? We want both women and men to come in. We never wanted to make this like, oh, this is a girl spot. Like, we wanted to welcome both. And like you know, we've said in the past, we are going to have men come on the show and give their perspective. We want this to be a learning experience. Like, learn from our fuck ups, learn from our mistakes. Don't have two baby daddies like me. All I'm saying is there's a lot you can learn from.
Don't hit up women. Don't hit up women like me. I'm not a shit. I've done it, like, and you've seen messages that I have sent. So, you know, I have definitely hit up some women.
Well, listen, when you did it, I was not judging you because you were at a point where, but here's the difference. You were at a point where you were already ready to leave him because you had enough evidence. You just needed to get that shit out of your head. You know, like,
let's tell them the story actually really quick. Basically, this chick kept checking my stories. This chick kept like, you know, trying to see where I was at. And then one time me and him were like on a trip.
It started from the fact that you're dating this guy. So you're dating this guy who's from out of town. And then out of nowhere, there's this girl that's commenting on his pictures. And then you notice that this same girl is now looking at your stories, but doesn't follow you. Okay.
Exactly. And I always say, if you ain't following, you're stalking. So obviously she was just stalking me. And I kept asking him about her. No, she's just a friend. No, you know, hit me with the she's just a friend. So he had lied to me and told me that she was going to be around him because they were going to do some kind of event, whatever. So basically kind of giving me the heads up that she was going to be in the same place as he was. Next thing I know, I see him commenting on her page, oh, I can't wait to spend the week together. Oh, hell, y'all spending the whole week together? Let me see what this is about. He wouldn't tell me. So I was like, okay, I'm going to hit her up. He was like, no, you better not do it. If you do that, then this and that. He kept threatening me. Okay. So I went ahead and hit her up anyways. Because like you said, I was already done with him anyway. So I was like, whatever. So when I hit her up, she hit me with the, I don't know what you're talking about. And then
she was totally like oblivious to what are you talking about? Like, bitch, you were just watching you just watched the last story I posted. What do you mean? You have no idea who I am. Like, stop.
You know who I am. So yeah. So basically, it wasn't just a me like hit her up out the blue. The girls that I've hit up is because they knew who I was. So I'm like, what's up, bitch? What you want? You know, type of thing. Like, I'm like, what's up? What's good? Now, because I feel like if you're trying to find out who I am, it's because you got something to say. So what's up? What's up? I'm listening now.
Talk to me, baby.
So it's not just kind of out the blue. I have also had girls hit me up, you know, and I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I've done it. I've had it done to me, and looking back now, I'm like, I should have never done it. I should have just, so that's why I'm just saying that was my point to this girl. Like, first off, girl, bye, get out of here with that, because I was irritated. And also, like, take that up with your man. Don't bring me into your mess, because I don't even know him like that. And also, I wouldn't even put myself in a situation like that. Listen, you once you do better, once you know better, you do better. So I'm out here just trying to live my life. And so just ladies, don't bring somebody else into your situation. Unless she's inserting herself, I suggest you just deal with your man.
Because then there's going to be times, hopefully not, but in the dating world where, the other woman is reaching out to your man, then obviously that's where this woman has inserted herself in your circle, in your little relationship. So now you got to handle it that way. But it's always, if you're hitting up another woman, guess what? It's your man that you got to worry about. It's your partner that you got to have these deep conversations with, because obviously he's doing shit he shouldn't be doing. And if you're deleting it, it's for that reason. Don't let these men tell you, because they will tell you, because my man has told me this in the past when he was being a bad boy. But they will tell you that I just didn't want you to get mad. If you knew, if you even felt it 1 ounce in your heart that it was going to make me mad, it shouldn't have never been done. You should have never sent that text. You should have never left that comment. You should have never reacted to no motherfucking other random girls' pictures. So all I'm saying is, if your man tells you that, he's full of shit. And call him out on that, because fellas, and you know what? Next time we have a man, we got to ask him these questions, because I'm pretty sure there's got to be a man out there that's got to admit to it, that it's true. If they really were, because I bet, like, for instance, now say that there's a man now he's reformed. He's like, I am a better person. I will never cheat again. I bet you that person will come on, and maybe my man will do it. I'm gonna try to get him on the show.
Let's get him. I would love for him to be
love for you to question him, because I think you would have a lot of great questions as to, and I'm gonna tell him, hey, you got to be open with everything, in the stages of your life when you were out here doing shit that you shouldn't be doing it. Why were you doing it? Or why, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of,
my first question's gonna be,
what?
Why ain't you put a ring on it yet?
That's funny. That, what the crazy thing about that is, it's crazy that everyone asks him around me, and I'm just like, I feel awkward, because I'm like, what, they're right. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're right. It's been a minute. But so it's then I feel stupid. You know what I'm saying? I think that's like his, his grandma has brought it up. His uncles have brought it up. But that is definitely, if you want to ask that, girl, you go ahead and ask that.
I will. I don't know. It's so funny you say that, because I was having a conversation with my girls during brunch, and we were talking about marriage. And, everybody has their own view on marriage. I mean, I know me and you have talked about it several times, but I'm at the point where I'm like, do I really want marriage, or do I just want that ring? And do I want the wedding? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it that I truly, truly want? And I've been doing a lot of digging into that, and I would be okay with having like a commitment ceremony where we just have a big ass party, and he just gives me a ring that is not necessarily a diamond. It's just something that I like. I would honestly be okay with that. It took me a while to be like, am I cool with like not, because I've already been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I just did it and it
That's
just
true.
didn't work. Like,
that's
true.
I
put in 10 years of my life into that. So I'm at the point now where I'm actually okay with, even if I don't have the typical or the traditional, wedding and all that, because I low-key don't even want the government involved. So, I'm like low-key leaning more into that. So I don't know, but I know it's something you want. So I would definitely put a little pressure on there for you.
No, that's a good question. And I think even I would ask questions. But these are conversations that I've already had with him about why he was doing certain things when he shouldn't have. Like, we've had therapeutic conversations with each other, and relationship too, but therapeutic conversations where we come out of that kind of like taking a deep breath, like, whew, that was a lot, and it's tough, man. Just like we tell you nowadays, is like, it's important to have these conversations about race with your family, your friends. And it is uncomfortable. Those uncomfortable conversations also have to be had in relationships, because, man, I'll tell you right now, there was questions that it's like, I want the answers, but am I ready to accept these answers? You know what I'm saying? So like, it's hard, man. Some of these conversations that I've had with him, fucking, I'll have like nightmares, you know, but then I'll get over it. Yeah. Because it's like, because you finally get the answers that you wanted, but it's like, you weren't ready to accept it. Right. But you
wasn't ready.
No, I wasn't ready. But I don't know, man. I can honestly say that it's a beautiful journey because it's made me tougher. It's made me tougher now, but fuck, going through it sucks, man. The betrayal.
I applaud you guys. I applaud you guys for being able to do that, because it's so hard to, like, the conversations you guys have had that I know of. I'm like, you guys talked about, you told him that? I'll be like, girl,
I know.
I can't even believe you told him that.
I know. And you're not the first. It's crazy. I've told my sisters, and my sisters was like, wait, what? But I think it's not for everyone, right? It's all of, like, every relationship has their own way of handling things and their own, I would say, levels, because some of the shit that I may have opened up about to my man that he opened up to me about, other women just don't give a fuck about, right? Or don't want to know.
Or they don't want to know, right?
Because they can't get past it, right? So it's a scary situation, because like, you don't, going into it, like, always remember, ladies, do you really want to know the answer to that, or is it just because you're curious? If you feel like this is going to be something that you're never going to let go, don't even go there. If it's in the past, first of all, it definitely has nothing to do with what's happening in the present, right? But it's just, again, it's all up to everyone. But I feel like where I'm at now, I think it would be interesting to bring him on, just because there were toxic traits that he had, that he completely, like, flipped and is a different person. He's actually shown me a lot, you know, how to handle certain things or how to react to certain things, and vice versa. You know, we've shown each other a lot. So it'd be interesting, because I would like to see you as being my friend, but also just a woman that wants to have a serious
curious. I just want to know. Right. Like,
right.
From a man's perspective, let's bring some of my exes on here. Let's see what they got to say.
Right. Oh my God. That would be, dude, I'm just telling you, it would be really interesting, because I feel like women can learn from that shit, man. It's like,
right.
A lot of these things are just so relatable, because people have gone through it, or have dealt with it, or are going through it. You know what I'm saying? Or it just happened to them. So yeah, we definitely got to talk about those. Like, for instance, okay, yeah, I'm in a secure place. I feel like my man, since we got back together, going through this breakup of like 2 months in this whole 8 relationship, we've never been apart, but these 2 months, you know, that we split up, and we got back together, he's just been a whole different person. I could definitely see the growth. I see that he don't want to lose me and stuff, right?
Right.
I still have my moments where I told you about this last time, girl. This motherfucker was sleeping and laughing in his sleep. And I was barely falling asleep, right? And he was like, I was like, right, girl, I swear that it was just a chuckle. He's like, I was like, who the fuck is making him laugh in his fucking dream, right? So, and mind you, I'm half asleep because I'm sleepy, but then I'm just like, so then I let it go, right? I was like, I'm tripping, but I'm staring at him, and he's like this, and I'm staring at him like, he better not. If he touches dick right now, like, I'm gonna be mad as, like, I swear, these are my thoughts. I know I'm crazy, y'all. I know. But I'm like, if he touches dick right now, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. So he's like stuck right asleep. And then I start falling asleep again, and then I hear and this was like a weird laugh, because I was like, okay, there's a bitch in there making him laugh, because he's like like he did one of those like I was like, you don't laugh like that with your voice. Wake your motherfucking ass up. I'm just kidding. I didn't say that, but I wanted to. And then I'm like, dude, I'm so stupid. Like, I'm sitting here arguing with my man who's sleeping peacefully, but somebody's making him laugh, and I'm thinking like, it's gotta be a bitch. So he gets up, like, we end up going to sleep. I'm just like this, and then I'm watching, making sure he ain't touching his dick, because I was really like, if he touches his dick right now, I'm gonna be mad as fuck. I'm about to sock his ass and wake up. So he didn't touch his dick. He never did that. He ended up going back to sleep. He never moved. He didn't even move from that. He was just like, and I was like, whatever. So I went to sleep thinking like, who the fuck? Like, I was just curious, you know? So anyway, that happened. It's time to go to work. We wake up the next day. He's getting ready. You know, we have the 2 sinks. So I'm like brushing my teeth. He's over here like shaving. And I was like, hey, I got a question. I was like, serious question. I'm not going to be mad. Tell me the truth. What were you dreaming about? He's like, I don't know why. I was like, some bitch was making you laugh in your dream. I know it. I feel it. I was like, who was making you laugh? Girl, he was laughing. And when he started laughing, I got mad. I was like, oh, it's funny. It's funny because you know there's a bitch that made you laugh in your dream. And he's like, I'm laughing because I can't believe you're actually questioning me about my fucking dream. I said, it's okay. I was like, I've dreamt about dudes too. I was like, just like, if you tell me, I said, if you tell me, I ain't going to be mad or anything. And he goes, if I tell you, you are going to be mad. He's like, first of all, I wasn't a woman. He's like, but if I tell you, either one, you're not going to believe me, or if I tell you, yes, it was a girl, you're still going to be hurt about it because I'm going to go to work and you're going to text me like, so do you think about this stuff or do you think about these girls? And I was like, are you telling me this? Are you telling me this? I said, because you did dream about a bitch? You did, huh? He was like, I didn't. He's like, I'm telling you, it's just funny to me that I can't believe you're asking me this. But bitch, it was serious. I'm like, I'm still curious.
That is funny.
But listen, would I have been mad? The world may never know. I'm just kidding. No, I probably would be upset. And he's like, honestly, he didn't have to answer that question. That's some toxic shit for me to, even ask. But
that's why we got to check ourselves, girl. That's why we got to check ourselves. I was with some of my girls and they were talking about like, yeah, sometimes like, have you ever realized like you've done some toxic shit? And I was like, yeah, and I keep doing it.
Man, I know. I'm trying to get it together.
Like, let me tell you, I know for sure my insecurities caused a lot of issues in my last relationship. Probably all of them, but definitely in my last relationship.
You acknowledge those, though.
I acknowledge it, and that's why now it's funny to me because it's like the stupid little stuff that I would be like, what? Like, I really had nothing to worry about. Like, I remember there was a chick that had like looked at my page and I was like, who's this girl? And apparently it was a girl that he used to like mess with.
Right.
Man, when I saw her pictures, I was like, what was I tripping about?
What was
I had nothing to be tripping about. I should have been like, I see why he all up on me.
No.
So like now I'm like, I get it. I get why it's not cute to be insecure. Well, when you showed me have our toxic ways.
When you showed me, I was like, Angie, you couldn't possibly be mad at that. You couldn't possibly feel in a certain way. But listen, when you love someone and you care for someone, right? And then you also know that these motherfuckers have dated some bad fish in the sea. All I'm saying is that even if the girl isn't better looking or you don't think she's better looking than you or she just a different way off different than, it can still like hurt us because even though I don't think she's attractive, you're giving her attention that is supposed to be my attention. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I was wondering too. I was like, why is she trying to figure out who I am? Well, apparently I had like put a comment on one of his pages, but still, why are y'all still following each other? Why? That's when I started getting insecure because I was like, first off, y'all still follow each other. So what's up with that? And obviously she's trying to find out who I am. Now looking back, I'm like, I really shouldn't even have tripped off of that because it was something so minor. Let her see me be happy. Let her see how cute I am. Like, let her see me living my best life, So that's why I put my page. I had it private for a little bit, but I put it back public because I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let them see what I'm doing and I'm living my best life.
Okay, I hate to even bring this up with your ex again, but while on the topic, I will say Angie has been straight up, and I told you many times when you were doing shit that was unnecessary, but you weren't at fault because this motherfucker didn't do the things he should have been doing to make you feel comfortable. He wasn't doing shit. And I hate to bring this up again, but I think it's a valuable lesson for people out there. And fellas, if you're listening, when women are doing things like now, you didn't meet this person this way, right? You didn't meet her being the jealous type. You didn't meet her being these type of things. Ask yourself what you're doing to make your woman not feel secure enough. Ask yourself what you're doing. And if at that point you're like, I'm doing everything I should be, I'm giving her this, I'm giving her my time. If you're doing everything and it all adds up, then now you got to question, she's really toxic or she's doing shit she shouldn't. But
how can we work together so we can like figure this out? Right. Because you obviously you only knew a limited amount of information because either you didn't know at all or it was information he told you or it was you know what I'm saying?
And that's a whole nother conversation. But and I can honestly say with your ex, there was the only reason why you started getting worse with your insecurities was because I can honestly say that he was doing shit he shouldn't have. When some of the things that he did, and I told him too, some of the shit that he did,
sure did.
He didn't give a fuck to make you feel comfortable. When your woman is telling you, I feel that you're not vouching for me, or you're not standing up for me, there's a fucking issue. Because first of all, I shouldn't ask you to fucking back me up. I'm your partner. Out of respect, I do this for you without you asking me. So the fact that you can't do it for me, so it's like you're the issue. He was toxic, girl. He was you did a lot of fucked up shit because he made you be that way. Because if he were to have assured you that you got nothing to worry about, if he were to be like, y'all gonna respect my girl, you would not be tripping on half the shit that he did to you. So all I'm saying is check your fucking self first, fellas, because a lot of the times when your girls starting to do the toxic shit that maybe we shouldn't be doing, a lot of the times it's because you're not making her feel secure. So ask your girl, right? Like my man, like say I was to tell him something now, like, hey, like for instance, the whole dream thing, my man could have been like, am I doing something that's making you think that I'm doing, you know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
Because now I'm being the toxic one. Why the fuck I'm worried about if he sucking his dick while he's sleeping? Why am I worried about if he's sucking his dick while he's sleeping? So stuff like that, it's like, that's toxic shit that we do. Obviously it was funny because I was never really fully mad, and he understood that. That's why he didn't bring it up. But if he really wanted to, and he noticed that I was doing toxic shit, like getting mad at him for fucking laughing in his dream, then that's where he goes and steps in and is like, all right, listen, am I not making you feel like I love you? Am I not making you feel like you got nothing to worry about? Because you questioning me about my fucking dream, that means that you have an issue of you're feeling insecure. What can I do to make you feel like you ain't got nothing to worry about, baby? That's how you handle that, right? But yes, not doing that shit, so he cannot be fucking hit. And they better not hit me up. Listen, if you're listening right now, you better not hit me up talking about she didn't tell me this and that. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, you fucked up, and that's that. David, leave that in here.
Here's the thing. Here's why.
David, leave that in here, please.
Here's why I'm laughing about this, because I'm like, out of all people, listen, even if whether you're my ex or you're listening to this, or you're somebody new who's trying to approach me, Carmen's not the one. She is not the one. Don't ever in your life try to come to her and tell her something about someone she loves, because she will go in on you.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. Saying. But did I listen? I didn't disrespect him, right?
No, not at all.
I read him with facts. That's it. I didn't go like, when you're
and it's still all love. Like, it's still all love.
Right.
If he wanted to come on the show and be like, Angie was just batshit crazy, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, if you want to hit me up and be like, all right, put me on the show because I got some things to say, we're gonna put you on. As long as you could. You can't come on the show if you're going to be one-sided. Like them Trump supporters that are like, Trump has done nothing wrong. Like, my brother is one of those, by the way. At some point, we're going to talk about that shit. But
shit.
My brother's that annoying motherfucker that no matter, I love my brother, by the way. The sweetest fucking guy. But talking politics is just unacceptable when it comes to anything Trump related. But anyway, to any other exes, if you want to get on the show, you got to be willing to accept your fuck-ups. Because if you can't do that, I'm sorry, but I'm muting your mic. You know what I'm saying?
Because Carmen will call you out. That's the thing.
Yeah, man.
I might be a little more tamed. Carmen's gonna let him have it, and that's why I think it's so funny. And I hope anybody listening to this can laugh at it, because I just think it's hilarious. My girl has my back, and I'm the same way. So I'm telling you, if you ever come and approach us with some bullshit, we gonna let you know.
Yeah. And it's not even like, it's just the truth. It's like, if my girl's doing some shit that she shouldn't be doing, which, by the way, I've had that, you know, I've had, I don't agree with I don't agree with everything that all my girls do. Right. I have a friend who cheated on her man with somebody at work. I didn't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? We had that discussion. I gave my opinion. She's doing her. I love her. But if some shit was to break out and she wanted to know the truth, I'm like, hey, you know, do you think that, I'm not going to be like, oh girl, if it felt good, then fuck it. No, I'm going to tell you the truth. Right. And so pertaining to this situation, like, listen, we're open to having exes on the show. That's okay.
Sure. Why not?
Well, first I gotta ask my man if he's okay with that. If my man ain't cool with that, then fuck that. But if my man wants to come on the show and talk his shit, go ahead. And listen,
I would love it.
he might say some shit that you don't even know about. He might say some shit
sure.
Well, Lena, did you know that, you know, Carmen fucking told me I can't touch my dick when I'm sleeping or some shit? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, she told me that.
But she right. I'd be like, no, but she right. She right.
Why are you touching your dick?
I got some questions now.
Yeah.
Who's making you laugh? Because only she can make you laugh, okay? No, what I love, though, is, like, we have each other's back so much. If, like, there's this meme where it was, like, you know, so let's just say my man, let's say I have a man and he calls you and he's like, hey, where's Angie at? And you're like, she's right here. She's asleep on the couch. And he's like, nah, you're lying. She's sleeping next to me. And then you'd be like, well, who the fuck is that on my couch?
Right.
So,
yep. I'm going to write it all the way through, baby. I'm going to write. Matter of fact, I might say some shit like, wait, what? Send her a picture like, I could have sworn that was her. With blonde hair. I could have sworn that was her. I'm riding with that shit. Okay. No, listen, all seriousness though, we're keeping this conversation light because, like, legit, there's no hard feelings. Like, I don't hate your ex because I know
I don't hate him either. I think
so why would I, you know, I don't hate your ex because I know you don't hate your ex. Like, it's a different, you know what I'm saying? It's a different story. So if you are listening to this, which I'm sure you are, no, it's no hard feelings, but shit, you put yourself in that predicament. Okay. As far as my man, you know what? Who knows? Ladies, this is my experience. This is the beautiful thing about having a podcast is that you get to talk about whatever the fuck you want. And if my man has heard about this, he's going to find out about it later. And then we're going to have the discussion and we'll get over it. Because nothing is that serious that that'll end up breaking us up. But listen, who knows? The goal is to get my man to go on the show at some point. Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous if we did get him on.
He's going to hate me after. He's going to hate me after. He'll be like, what the fuck you bring me on there with her?
Actually, that's probably why he hasn't asked, because he knows. So he's probably like, fuck that. I already know what Angie's going to say. I'm not setting myself up. No.
Because I'm be like, remember on February 3rd, 2018. Bring up some shit from like a couple years ago.
So listen, all I'm saying is whether or not he comes on, I really hope that people that listen to this podcast know that I think we went on this journey of doing a podcast because we want to talk about the shit that we go through because we feel like it's so relatable, whether it's makeup, looking stupid, learning from my experiences. I just feel like there's nothing you can use against me that I haven't already laughed at, that I've already done. So with that being said, I always tell, like, I don't know, I'm always going to speak my truth. And this is why we welcome men and women. From day one, we've always wanted men to feel welcome, to know that listen to the way women talk and the way women think and the way we react. You will notice a lot of the traits, some things that we have done that I'm sure your girls have done, fellas, if you're listening right now, or vice versa. Ladies, I'm sure that you've been in a situation where you're like, man, my man did that shit too. You know what I'm saying? We just want this to be an experience, a learning experience. And we are going to have, I think our next guest is going to be one of your friends, which is a dude. So we are going to have a different dynamic, and it's going to be interesting to hear, his perspective on a lot of the topics, whether it's, about sex, about relationship, about marriage, all of that. So we just kind of wanted to get into that because I think it was important to know that even though there's so much going on around the world, we forgot about the fact that we were on lockdown forever, and there is still a lot of shit that's happening, right? There's still people that are getting diagnosed with coronavirus. There's still people that, there's still a situation where we can't do much. We still can't go out to every movie theater because not every movie theater is open. And if they are, it's limited space. So it's like we aren't going to be fully out there yet. There's still that tension that's built up, or just doing shit with your family. The relationships, the marriages, the friendships, the roommates. I'm sure there's a lot of roommates who probably during this time are no longer roommates. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, it's crazy, man. 2020, if anything has made us stronger, is going to make us stronger for the years to come because we've just endured so much at once, and that's not even to mention the people that have lost people, the people that have, just suffer from different, medical issues and shit. Like it's just, this moment has been a learning experience, and hopefully people are stronger, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to come from this being a lot more damaged too, like needing therapy. You know what I'm saying? Finding out ways to help yourself. That there's even therapy that you can get online, so you don't even have to leave your house.
There's free therapy too. So
free therapy, meditation, which I'm starting to get to know. I'm learning about the bowl waves, the air. What is it? the waves, the sound waves. I'm learning about
sound
waves.
like right. You like
right.
I love doing the sound baths. So sound baths are like my shit. And then I also meditate like daily. I just bought this book. I have it on my dresser right now. It's to help heal your chakras. Like I'm definitely deep in it. So
yeah. So I'm like on the verge of like deep diving into that, because I feel like I sleep with it, now. I used to love sleeping with rain sounds, just because it was coming from me. Me and my kids listen to that. So literally I'll have like, if I forget to put it on, like my son will be like, Mom, can you put on, I put it on for them. But I love that though. If it's going to help them, ease into falling asleep, I love it. And it's been useful. It's been helpful for me. And I know for my kids. So, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're like, I don't really do the meditation thing, because I don't do it. I want to learn how to eventually, I learned all the breathing techniques and stuff, but I can't say that I've actually done it. One thing that has helped me is the at night, because I think people are having nightmares, or people aren't sleeping through the night, because a lot of the times your stresses are keeping you awake. So even though your body is tired and you're trying to fall asleep, your self-conscious is still running around, still worried about what happened that day, still worried about the next day, maybe going to work or not being able to, provide for your family, not having food on the table. It could be literally everything, or stuff. It could also not even be your own struggles. It could be struggles that you're seeing other people go through, the reality of what we're in right now, where we're seeing literally people be killed on video and just be shared. Like that is so damaging. So sometimes even when you try to go to sleep and you're not on your phone, you're sitting there, your mind is going 100 miles per hour. And that's because literally you don't realize, but you're dealing with anxiety. You're dealing with the stresses of life, So if it's one thing that's helped me, that I think once at some point we should have an episode where you talk about what you're learning, Ange, because I feel like that I like it and I'm intrigued by it. So I feel like maybe people will like it or get to know what it's about. Sound waves to me is so soothing. Like it feels good. I want to invest in my own bowls now. So yeah, it's worked for me. And if I could tell you to start off with anything, go to wherever you listen to your music. I go on iTunes and I literally type in sound waves, relaxation. It'll give you a sleeping option. And put that on and lay there with your lights off and listen. And it feels so good. And it relaxes me to be able to fall asleep. So with everything that's going on in the world, just know that you are not alone. If you're having marital issues, if you're having relationship issues, if you're having, issues with maybe handling your kids or running out of ideas on how to keep your kids entertained, just know you are not alone. All of us are dealing with something, whether it's bad or it's good or it's exciting or it's stressful or it's medical. Like at some point, someone is dealing with something too. So if you're out there and this episode allowed you to free your mind of your own problems, hey, at least we did something. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We did our part.
We did our part. You dealt with ours. And we got plenty more. Trust me. We're going to get into this. The goal is to eventually get my man on this. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that happens.
This was a great episode. I'm really happy that we got to touch on all this stuff. And it was even a release for me. So I'm glad that we were able to just have a normal, fun conversation.
Yeah. No, honestly, it is for me too. Like it really felt good to just sit here and talk about bullshit. It's really a lot of it's not even important, but just talking about it allowed us to just detach from what we're dealing with in life. So on that note, I will also say this: the fight continues. If you're out there still donating, signing petitions, doing the protests, keep that going. It's still so necessary. The conversations, I will say, the allyship, like I said, is an active process. We're always working on. So if you want more information on how you can help with everything that's taking place, or you feel like you've been missing out, or you feel like you haven't done enough, hit up our Ladies Lounge Podcast Instagram. If you go to the link on the bio, we have tabs on how you can donate. We have tabs on how you can get information on what's going on and how you could help. There's a march for kids in cages that just took place in LA. There's other stuff too that you can, we got as much information as we can, and we share it with on our own platforms. But if you go to the Ladies Lounge Podcast, on the link in the bio, we have different tabs on ways that you can help. So, Angie, take care of yourself. I'm sure I'm going to talk to you soon. Literally, people don't realize, but this is not just a podcast. Angie and I are homegirls, so we'll be talking and texting and DMing. Yes. It's funny how we go from like being on like a text to literally I'll send you some DM shit. Yeah, so literally it's a friendship, and I hope you guys, you know, get that from us and feel like we are your homegirls, because that's the goal. The goal is for you guys to feel like you got friends in us, even if it's just one-sided and you guys are hearing us, you know. But talk to us, man. Also send us like, you know, questions. If you have a situation that you went through, please. That's another thing that we really want to share. We want people to send us emails or DMs about a current situation. So if you have like, you know, relationship issues or your coworker is doing some fuck shit, we want to hear about it, and we want to give you our perspective and our opinion. Who knows? Maybe we could relate to some of the shit that you're going through, you know?
Right.
So email us. You can give them the email.
Okay. It's theladiesloungeinfo@gmail.com.
There you go. Or again, all the information is up on our podcast, Ladies Lounge Podcast, or at Carmen on Air, or
She is Lena Rodriguez.
There it is. All right. Y'all be safe. See ya.
Bye.